Hi everyone, thanks for joining. We're down here in Graham, North Carolina. And this is the main site, the first site that I found. Behind me is where the mound was. There are still several mounds here. And one of the big reasons why I haven't wanted to come out here is because they just keep on destroying it more and more. We have documentation of the mounds that were in these woods before all these trees were ripped down. And it looks like they're just continuing on. So it's a little bit upsetting, but I'm glad you guys are here to hang out with me while I check this stuff out. You'll notice on the ground all the stones, all the loose little stones. And we have to think logically. Glaciers didn't make all these little tiny stones and bring them out here. Every single rock is an artifact, as weird as it sounds, as unbelievable as it might be. There's no geological explanation for all of them. And it's a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow. So, you know, I kind of gave up on this area, and I probably shouldn't have. I probably should keep on fighting, but I don't live here anymore. I live out in Clayton now, which is about an hour and a half away. So I took the drive out here today. We've walked through these woods before. Well, what used to be woods. We can see now. This area, was going to be bought by me. I had made some plans, but it was already bought by this housing development company. On the top of this hill, it's going to be hard for me to figure out exactly where these mounds are now that everything's ripped down, but I'm pretty sure that the top of this hill is one that we've seen before. I have a playlist of those mounds. They're in one of the playlists there. But go ahead and take a peek around and just like I said, I'm glad you guys are with me because I really don't like coming back out here. It breaks my heart that they destroyed all this stuff. This is a very special site. There were burials on the edge here going up. Plenty of bones and things to be found out here, which I don't really talk about and I don't keep, of course. Whenever I find them, I throw them back into the woods. Nice oily water. But everything that lived here is now not living here anymore. And just, they clear cut it, you know, without any regard to even leaving a single tree. I just take it all down. It looks like they're just gonna go all the way down to the creek down here. So much of this is gone now. It's amazing. Oh boy. Well, we're gonna go down to the creek here in a bit. Take a look, but I just wanted to see the top of this. See if I could identify. Where the crystal mound was. So, if you guys don't remember, in the very beginning there was a huge flat top mound that was in that neighborhood with the houses that you can see poking out behind it. Several other smaller ones as well. And no archaeological survey was ever done on this land. They said it was grandfathered in, which to me sounds like BS because the housing development company had just purchased it. How can something be grandfathered in? Even after I jumped up and down and told them about all the stuff that was here. Of course, the American natives were the only culture that didn't create faces on rocks. You have your Mayan, your Aztec, your Olmec, your Easter Island people. Every single prehistoric culture put faces on things, but not ours. Not the Paleo Indians of North America. Oh no, they wouldn't do that. I'm so glad so many more people are waking up to the lie that this government has fed us. It's interesting to see it all cleared out like this. Just imagine. Well, we found ancient wood, or even more recent, like Native American wooden structures out here. So I can imagine this was all cleared at one time for them. It is appalling how much is gone now. They took out the whole chunk. Probably all the way down to the creek. I wonder what they did with all the crystals, the crystal mounds. So I've been putting off coming out here. I actually came out here when they first started this and did a few videos, and I was just too upset to even post the video. This is the place where I learned how to see. It's a very special place for me. So, kind of hits hard when you see it all get destroyed like this. There's the remnants of a turtle shell. Sad. So many animals that called this woods home. Just run over and crushed. All the deer that were in here now are going to go into the roads and just go somewhere else. You see that dark orange purified clay. A lot of those are little clay head statues. Let's come over here and see. Here we have one of the several little clay mounds that are in here. They're all full of crystals. You can see how all these white crystals are placed in the top of these. These are all story stones. You can see, if you look closely, the napped edge. For you archaeological types, you can see the sharpened blade on this. So this hill was left because it is taller. There may even be some wooden artifacts in here, but such as this. It's a piece of cedar. This looks like a boomerang, but what I believe it represents is the bird flying. So you see how the bigger wing is the wing that's coming closer to us, and the smaller wing is further away. Just think of all the toys your nieces and nephews have. These folks were no different. They made recreations of what they saw, birds in the sky, so you could fly this around as if it was a bird. That's what's on this mound here. There's a lot more in there. I can see a lot of charred wood. See all the crystals that I speak of? The collections of these white crystals. Extremely large pieces. There's really big ones in there. But this is possibly a burial. As you can see, what we have going on here. Some kind of shaman site or sacred site. With lots of charred and blackened wood in here. You can see this burnt wood. But they'll flatten all this out too, eventually. But here we can see all these lumps, all these mounds, right here, in this one section. So what's happened at the construction site here is they just pulled all the trees, cut all the trees. There's a huge piece of charred wood, and it is, of course, a giant charred bird. Lots of burnt wood here, but this one you can see it's a huge, giant bird. How do you know it's an artifact? Because it's charred and burnt. Also the fact that it's shaped like a big bird. Good luck getting anyone to care, they told me. See how the wing detail is done? Stop doing what you're doing, they told me. That's what Vince Stephanopoulos told me from UNC Archaeology. David Cranford, the assistant to the state archaeologist, told me to quit emailing him. I told him to kiss my ass. And every time I find something, I'm going to email him. Kind of foam toy. But this is bittersweet for me. It's not even sweet. It's just bitter. Just bitter. I guess I'll grab this. Not this big black one. But I think I might take this wooden one with me. Out of respect. The cedar one. I don't have the stomach for it, but I could. Just go in there and dig out a body, dig out a couple bones. Maybe try to make it so that we could save that section of this sacred area. But there's more to be seen. There's more mounds poking up everywhere. I see down here more. Where they left the trees, you know, they didn't have the bulldozers and things down here yet. They just cut the trees So they left the little mound sites. And this is one of them. All right. I'm gonna sit at this mound just for a second. I might take another look in there because there's so much in there. It looked like there were several burnt wooden effigies in there. But I'm gonna sit here just for a second. That mound right there is the big one. I will leave links in the description of this place before they chopped it all down. Visiting these mounds in the woods. Those will be down there. I know we visited this large one. I don't know if we ever saw the small one or not, but there's thousands of these small ones. Some of them are just soil and crystal. Some of them are just all crystal. I believe that one up there is the one that is all crystal. And there's still several more that we can go and look at within the woods here. Hopefully. I know there are. Depending on how close they got to the creek. But we'll see. All right. Well, I hung out at that mound just for a minute. Gave my little offering because all I feel out here is pain, waste, all this wasted. Destruction. Let's go look at this little spot here. They're gonna put houses all over this stuff. And that's just gonna ruin that creek. The library. Paleolithic library down here. Many trees on this one, but we can see how it's risen, how it's higher than the rest. Crystals and scrapers and points just everywhere you look. Everywhere you go. This is what they call a turtleback scraper. See how it's shaped like a diamond or a pyramid. And this is just a tool. Crystals of all kinds. I'm sorry. Glaciers don't make these. They don't. The glacier didn't put all the faces on the rocks. Human beings did this. We know this. But I don't think they do. Many people don't. We could just pick up all the stones for hours out here. This is probably the bend of the creek here that they cut to. I can hear the water down here. They cut all the way down to the water. In this creek, if you guys don't know, there's of course large, huge megaliths Megalithic statues, gigantic ones. This was a home for people for a very long time. There are a bunch of rabbit ears here. This may have been where one of the planting, you know, some of the farming was at one point. So these things just pop right back up. Look at all these effigies right here. My goodness. Amazing one. It's a really pretty one. You can see how the lips are really defined. So there's the smaller portrait, of course, with the lips down here and the nose being here. And then there's a smaller one, and then there's larger ones at the top. Like a yelling man character, you can see. Big collection of them right here. Let's go ahead and move on down the hill here. You can see the large field there. Well, what is now a field. Looks like we're changing the plant variety a little bit over here to like little snakeberry bushes. But here's the water. The creek is rushing pretty loudly over in this area. I'm on an animal trail of some sort.